I am the CEO of a multi-six-figure tech company at 20 years old. And one of the biggest questions I'm asked is, Tyla, how did you do it? How did you get to this place, especially at your age, especially as a woman? Can you give the girls some tips? And so that's what I'm about to do right now, because this was very intentional and took a lot of hard work. Now, the first things first is sacrifice. I'm going to tell you guys something that you might not want to hear, but it's just the truth. And that is sacrificing embarrassment and sacrificing your social life for the bigger and better things. I'm going to tell you right now, I did not do the typical college life. I was not going out and partying. I was constantly studying and learning a high income skill, constantly watching videos. Instead of going to parties, I went to networking events. I was constantly practicing in the mirror how to speak to people, how to come off. And all I was doing was meditating and manifesting my life and who I wanted to be. Now, some people may look at this and be like, well, that's quite miserable. And no, it wasn't. I see it as I wanted to be at a certain place at a certain time period in my life, and I knew what had to be done to get there. And that is not to say that I was working blood, sweat, and tears, guys. I still had a lot of fun growing up, and I had lots of times to enjoy certain moments, and I have fun all the time. But I just did what needed to be done to make sure that I become the person I wanted to be. Next thing, I've never accepted who I am as a person. I think a lot of people walk through life and they just accept certain things. They're like, yeah, I'm an introvert. Yeah, I'm just an awkward person. Yeah, I can't dress. Yeah, I just don't look that great. Or, yeah, I can't do this. I'm not that type of person, and I do not have that mentality. My mind is I can do whatever I want to do. I can do whatever I want. Meaning if I want to look good, I'm going to look good. If I want a six-pack, I'm going to get a six-pack. If I want to be the smartest person ever, I'm going to be the smartest person ever. Not saying I can actually be that, but there's a lot of things that I do not accept. I never accepted being awkward. I never accepted being an introvert. I never accepted not being good at something. If I wanted to be good at something or have a certain trait, I was going to work hard to become that person. And I think a lot of people are just accepting of things and just go through life and have all these excuses. But the reality is, your mindset should be, I can do whatever I want to do. And that sounds cliche, but listen to what your mom told you when you were little. Now, what I just said goes into my following point is, I do not have a victim mindset. I think a lot of people walk through the world and say, what is holding them back, and they make a lot of excuses, which is very understandable. I get it, growing up in certain environments. I get it, being a certain race, being a certain gender. There's a lot of disadvantages, and yes, people are born with privileges. That is very true. Privilege does exist. But I will say, every single time I've met millionaires and I've met people of all different races, genders, and everything, they have never had a victim mindset. They've always told themselves they can do whatever they want to do as long as they work hard. And they've accepted that life isn't fair. And I think once I accepted that life isn't fair and that I might have to do something that someone else might not have to do, I just kind of dealt with it and just did what I had to do to get where I need to be. Now, the last thing is, I do not care what people think of me. And this is a really, really big one. And I think most people live their life kind of seeing how they're viewed and trying to see how people perceive them, which is understandable. Again, that's natural for wanting to do your best or wanting people to like you. That's a natural human trait that everyone has. But you can't dwell and prevent yourself from growing if you always do that. If you're always constantly needing validation from people and need your experiences to be validated and your choices that you're making to be validated, because you'll never be able to move forward, especially if you're not even in the right environment. Wanting to be validated by a mentor that is in the place you want to be in is understandable. But wanting to be validated by people who are not where you want to be is only going to hold you back. And you have to understand that you need to just make choices for yourself and see what happens. You have to take the risk. And a part of being an entrepreneur, a successful one, is being able to take risk and understanding that nothing is an actual failure. It's only just a learning curve, and either it works out and everything goes good, or it doesn't work out and you learn something new.